My name is Harry, and I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Today is March 18, 2024. It is 4:40 p.m. So let's continue. This part here is gonna be politics. The first one that I did a few minutes ago is on Pt1, talking about Meghan, and of course some derangers were in there. First tweet, a little bit of politics. Oh my God, it's a long read. Okay, it's happening. Carrie Prejean, longtime Trump ally, supported for nearly 20 years, just said this: MAGA is dead, deader than dead. We do not recognize President Donald Trump anymore. I think we are Occupy Nation. A foreign country has occupied our government. This president is being influenced by a foreign government. This is not a Democrat. This is not a never Trumper. This is someone who called Trump a dear friend for 2 decades. Oh, I saw something. I don't think I have it on the list, where I think it's Florida. It's making law where for anti-Semitism is not allowed or something. That I'm against what Florida is doing, but it's just how they maneuver. They know that, I'm talking about they meaning those Jews, they're not even Jew, Zionists, okay, because they fall under the umbrella of Jews. But what I want to say is that they know they're gonna be discriminated against because of what they did and in the Middle East. So many of them are leaving the Middle East. They're leaving Israel. They're moving different part of the world. So one of the places that they're moving to is Florida, and I guess they own many of those politicians. So they're telling them, hey, create laws so they don't hurt us. Even though in the U.S., that's like it falls under the hate crime. If you do things, let's say, whatever, when you attack somebody under certain things, race, disability, sexual orientation, ethnicity, gender, so the anti-Semitism falls under the hate crime. But they want to be very specific, all right? Because of the kind of things that they were doing in the Middle East, and many of them are moving back to the U.S. And part of the U.S. that they're moving to is Florida. So they want to create that shield, that iron dome that they had created for themselves in Israel. So they want that same thing over here as well. So it's one of those, they could dish it, but they can't take it. So again, I'm not against what Florida's doing, but it's the hypocrisy. These people are very racist. They are inflicting unnecessary pain. Pretty much, they're creating hate crime under other people with the umbrella where they are shielded from if someone decided, okay, let's say, for instance, they attack a black person based on his or her skin color. And then the moment that person react back to them, and then they have that shield, they could say, because I'm Jewish, because I'm this, because I'm that. So they could turn that thing against the person, the person they attack first. So that's the hypocrisy that's with these people. They want to be shielded completely of anything that could hurt them, no matter what it is, mentally, physically, politically, socially, anything. They want to do that to other people, but people cannot do it to them. That's all. That's the only reason I brought it up. Okay. So I don't want people to think that I'm against what Florida's doing, because many of the things that the Zionists were doing, okay, a lot of Jews were against it. There's some old videos. I don't repeat that often, but some old videos where I said this is not Jewish. The people, the kind of act that was happening in the Middle East, they are not Jews. I've always believed, my crazy, humble opinion, I felt like these were the Nazis. They just took the identity of the Jews from the Holocaust and they make it their own kind of pain and suffering, and they use that as a shield to create barbaric things around the world. Okay? So that's all. I don't want people to come after me saying, oh, why are you against the law that Florida's? No, it's not that. Okay, so I just explained. So let's get back to the original recording. Oh my God. Chris Murphy said Israel forced our hand. Marjorie Taylor Greene said she is no longer believe Trump deserves the Nobel Peace Prize. Ron Paul is exposing missing border wall billions. Okay, this
California at the
pause. Okay, Thomas Massey is threatened to read Epstein names on the House floor. The Christian brought Ted Cruz off stage. Joe Rogan said Trump has nothing to lose because this is enemy. Yeah, he has nothing to lose. Did they realize that? The thing is that he wasn't supposed to be at that position at all. He has absolutely nothing to lose. Yeah, I agree with that. Occupy Nation, those are the words of a 20-year-old ally. Never stop connecting the dots. All right? 39 seconds. Yesterday, while I was in court, I wrote something on my community board about the switch. All right? He really doesn't care. He's sending people, our men and women in the Middle East, when it's pretty much like a grinding meat, and then leaving the country exposed, all the young people, the military that's supposed to protect us, going to a place where the defense is, have reduced. I don't understand. All right, let's listen to this. 39 seconds.
I've been a loyal supporter of the president for almost 20 years. This goes back to when I was 21 years old and I was Miss California at the Miss USA pageant. And I've known him. I consider him a dear friend. And I will tell you right now, I do not recognize our president. I think that we are an occupied nation. I think that a foreign country has occupied our government. And we are seeing now that this president of the United States of America is being influenced by a foreign government. And MAGA, let me tell you right now, MAGA is dead. It is deader than dead, and Americans are furious. We do not recognize President Donald J. Trump anymore. I've been a loyal supporter of...
I agree. What did I say about Nazi in Germany? They took over the country. So the same thing here. Each time, I'm telling you, things are... Every time I say my crazy analysis, days later or months later, could be a year later, I've been proving right. This is exactly what happened. Israel is taking over. It's the same group when I say Israel, but it's the same group as the Nazis. Okay, they take the pain and suffering of the victim, make it theirs, and then they transform into something else. They occupy another place. Look what they did over there. What do you think? If they could do what they did to Palestine, what do you think is going to happen here in the U.S.? Okay? There's a lot of things that is being played here. Okay? In my humble opinion, not only the South America and the United States. I'm not talking about other countries, Argentina, Mexico, none of that. I'm talking the South and the United States, like Texas, Tennessee, some part of Georgia, Florida, Mississippi, specifically, especially Mississippi. That's what I mean by South America and the United States. Many of these states, they never wanted to have this kind of democracy that the U.S. had. So many of these politicians, people in the South, white southern states, they wanted to turn the country the way it's turning into that as well. So they team up with not only with Russia, with the Zionists, to do what you see is happening here. Many of the things that's happening in the United States, it's from the inside. Okay, it's people, American from the inside, who's doing it. When you look at I have a map of where Russia was. Russia has its own interests. His own interest is pretty much to turn Russia into where it used to be like the Soviet Union. Many of those countries that used to be part of the Soviet Union, after the Soviet Union dissolved, it became what it is now. Many of those countries, I don't know, what are they? A lot of them has TAN at the end. Kazakhstan. You could search them, but on top of my head, this is not something I look up all the time. I know a lot of them ends with a TAN. Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Georgia, not the Georgia state in the United States, but then it's a country. Ukraine, for instance, okay, Putin wants Ukraine back to be part of the Soviet Union. That used to be part of the Soviet Union. Estonia, what else? Latvia. Just look it up. I was just going on top of my head. So Russia has its own interests. The interest is that he wants those countries back to be part of, to recreate the Soviet Union. And one of the things that used to prevent him, okay, from getting those countries back is because of NATO. Because many of these countries, like I said, Georgia, Uzbekistan, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, some of them wants to be part of NATO because they do not want Russia to come and attack them. Because if Russia attack them, it will be like, when you attack one, you attack all. So they do not want, let's say, the U.S., France, who's part of NATO, to come and attack Russia. Okay? So there's a lot of things that is being played here. And all of them, what they want is to dissolve, pretty much destroy America. Don't let America become that powerful. Because when America get involved, they do business well. Again, many of you who study these things could easily correct me, but this is the way that I'm seeing it here. So you have many of these people, Russia, the Zionists, and racists in America and southern state who wants to pretty much destroy America, don't want it to be the way that it is, because each one of them have different interests. Their core interest is to dissolve America, and they're doing it. But the problem that occurred here, which I've mentioned in one of the videos I did yesterday or the day before, is that Israel just couldn't wait. They waited too long, 40 years, to get where we are now, to get a president who will carry out their stupidity. So they couldn't wait anymore. So their big mistake after doing all of this is to attack Iran first. They never knew, or they probably assumed, how powerful Iran could be. They did that thing with Iraq before. All this, they orchestrated for the United States to attack Iraq. And you see what happened here. So they were trying to do the same thing with Iran after they destroy other smaller countries. Okay? If you look at the tactic that they did in the US to get rid of, first of all, the gangs. Okay? They did not want, when ICE is coming to the neighborhood, to have resistance. So they got rid of the gangs, and then they go after the other ones, immigrants, and they go after it step by step. It's the same blueprint that they did in the Middle East. They go after each of those countries one at a time. They manufacture some BS so they could attack them and dissolve those countries. And then the last one I think that they had is Iran. But they never, and Iran was waiting for them. They never knew the capabilities of Iran. And their big mistake is they attack Iran first. If Iran had attacked them first, then NATO could get involved. Okay? It would have been automatically if they attack America, not Israel. I don't think Israel is part of NATO. But the relationship that the US has with Israel was like bonding. All right, but if they had attacked the United States, let's say some base or whatever, these people love to manufacture things. But if Iran had attacked America first in any shape or capacity, then America could bring their concern to NATO and said, look, we need your help. This is what happened, blah, blah, blah. Then the NATO countries could get involved and destroy Iran. But that didn't happen. Israel was too eager. They were too eager to get rid of Iran, the people who's running the country right now. And when everybody around the world saw what was happening and said, no, we're not gonna join you because you attacked them first. And now the same way Israel usually say, we have the right to protect ourselves and things like that. So Iran can easily say, we have the right to protect ourselves. Okay, so this is what's happening here. So as far as I'm concerned, I think the US, in terms of military power and the voice that they used to have on a global scale, it's all gone. And then all these special interests around the globe who probably pay Trump to help them get the United States to this situation, it's happening. There's so much that's going on. You have to pay attention to know some of this stuff in my own way, but political analysis could correct me and said, no, what you're saying is wrong. But this is what I see is playing out here. There was one article when I first started talking about Harry and Meghan, one specific article, I could never find it again. I saw someone who is in the government in the UK travel to somewhere in the southern states of America. And I mentioned it in one of my videos, and I tried to look for that article again. I could never find it. In my mind, okay, at that time I was fresh into sharing things about Harry and Meghan, and I was educating myself about certain things that I saw was happening, and I stumbled on that article. My immature mind was like, of all places, if they want to do business, why would they go to the south? Because I know, with the exception maybe Florida and some part of Texas, who have strong business minded and things like that. As far as I'm concerned, in other southern state, again, my immature mind, okay, used to think, why would they go there? I didn't see that kind of a strong kind of business thing will happen in the south. If you look into the economy in southern state, it's very bad, okay? Because many democratic states like New York and not Canada, California will help supplement some of the southern states who cannot take care of themselves. That was my mindset. Why would someone from the UK travel to somewhere in the south? It could have been Mississippi. I don't know why. I remember that. And I tried to look for that article, could never find it. So I was saying, why would they go there? Why not, let's say, New York or somewhere in California, maybe some part of Texas, maybe some part of Florida to do that kind of business? And I tried to look for that article again. I couldn't find it. So I just left it alone. So there are people in different countries who want to dismantle the United States. And Trump helped them. And there are many elected officials who literally did that for them. Like, for instance, in 4th of July of what year? 2022 or 23? I'll put the screenshot. Who went to, who went to Moscow to meet with some officials in Russia. They weren't even afraid to do that, and there was no consequences. So all of this play a role in it. There's a lot of things that's happening. But anyway, let's get back to the original recording. So I'm not surprised one bit. All right, you know what? Let's just listen to this and then I'll move to the next one.
Intends to use the United States military against American citizens who simply disagree with him. People he calls, quote, the enemy from within. America, this is not a candidate for president who is thinking about how to make your life better. This is someone who is unstable, obsessed with revenge, consumed with grievance, and out for unchecked power. Donald Trump has spent a decade trying to keep the American people divided and afraid of each other. That is who he is. But America, I am here tonight to say that is not who we are. That is not who we are. That is not who we are. You see, what Donald Trump has never understood is that e pluribus unum, out of many, one, isn't just a phrase on a dollar bill. It is a living truth about the heart of our nation. Our democracy doesn't require us to agree on everything. In fact, we like good arguments from time to time. Just think of your own family, right? It's not the American way to not have disagreements. We don't shy away from robust debate. In fact, we like a good debate, don't we? We like a good debate. And the fact that someone disagrees with us does not make them the enemy within. They are family, neighbors, classmates, co-workers. They are fellow Americans. And as Americans, we rise and fall together.
Right now we are failing together, unfortunately.
America, for too long, we have been consumed with too much division, chaos, and mutual distrust. And it can be easy then to forget a simple truth. It doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be this way. It is time to stop pointing fingers. We have to stop pointing fingers and start locking arms. It is time to turn the page on the drama and the conflict, the fear and division. It is time for a new generation of leadership in America. To offer that leadership as the next president of the United States of America.
Unfortunately, many Americans didn't see it, but it seems like we had to go through the pain that we are going through right now. Okay, next one. Michelle Obama was spot on. Okay, so there's the comment. You could pause and read it. All right, let's listen.
Believe me, if Donald Trump is president again, at some point or another, that ugliness will touch all of our lives. And it will not matter what you look like, how you worship, who you love, or how you vote. If you don't make 6 or 8 or 12 figures, if you're not famous, if you criticize or disagree with him in any way, if he doesn't view you as his equal or relevant to his ambitions, I promise you, he will not think about you when he gets into the Oval Office.
I don't know. What is it? Hillary Clinton won the country. Michelle Obama won the country. Kamala Harris won the country. They didn't listen. Okay, next tweet. Is that a video? No, it's not. Oh my God, is that long? It's a long thread. Maybe another time. I do not have time to do this right now. I'm gonna skip that one, okay? For another time. Let's go to the next one. I'm sorry. I didn't know it was a long thread. Okay, next tweet, there's this. Israeli settler writes, quote, I can hardly believe it. Body parts are everywhere. The missiles, no one is intercepted them. Benjamin Netanyahu has signed Israel's death certificate. Who will protect us now from Iran? Tel Aviv is burning. I mean, they warned you guys when you guys were doing the same thing to the Palestinian. I don't think this kind of things were in your head. You were dancing, partying, literally partying. There were DJs singing, dancing. Well, in order for you to understand it, you have to feel it, I guess. Let me just go through it really quickly. It's only 11 seconds. Okay? Alright, so there's that. Alright, let's go to the next tweet. Next one. My videos are hard to share. Alright, breaking. When the U.S. Secretary of War announces no mercy, he is not demonstrating strength, but rather signaling moral bankruptcy and ignorance of the law of armed conflict. We advise him to review the Hague Convention and the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court unless he aspires to join Netanyahu as a war criminal, Iranian Foreign Minister Agrichi. I read somewhere, I don't know if I share it with you, they say about 80 to 90% of Iranian people are like PhD level. They all are educated. Alright, so let's pause this. Big statement, Abbas Agrichi. I think I pronounced his name right. The Strait of Hormuz is close to the US and Israel, not to the rest of the world. The statement directly challenged global powers. 37 seconds.
They are asking other countries to come and help them so that the Strait of Hormuz remains open, which, of course, from our perspective, it is open. It is only closed to our enemies, to those who carried out unjust aggression against our country and to their allies. We have not sent any message. We are not asking for a ceasefire. But this war must come to an end in a way that it will not be repeated again.
Okay, it's starting over. Okay, that's that. Let's pause it. Look what Iran did to him. He is losing confidence day by day. 42 seconds.
If we ever needed help, they won't be there for us. I've just known that for a long period of time. We have some that are really enthusiastic. They're coming already. This is a need. Need would be one of the big boys. If we need their mine boats, or if we need anything, any piece of apparatus that they may have because of a situation that they have, they should be jumping to help us. We want them to come and help us with the strait. My attitude is, we don't need anybody. We're the strongest nation in the world. We have the strongest military by far in the world. We don't need them.
Did you follow that?
If we ever needed help.
Jesus Christ. Okay. In real and powerful states, there is no such position as a minister of war, because states that are confident in themselves do not define their institution to a language of invasion and revenge, nor do they treat open threats as a sign of prestige. Anyone who needs to be presented as a minister of war does not look strong, but rather like a coward acting with a mindset of someone who knows his survival is not guaranteed, so he overplays the threat to cover his fear. That is why talk of no mercy reveal not strength, but moral bankruptcy and a dangerous contempt for the law of war themselves. Serious states build ministries of defense and institutions that discipline power through law. Those who build their political identity on war are usually too weak to live without it, and in their logic, they are often closer to those they claim to fight than to any state that truly respects itself. Let's leave that alone. Whatever, these people, I don't even know what to say.
Avanaka. It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. You are all in this together, and if I may speak personally, we are all in this together, because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better